Hey, what's going on? It's Wednesday, and you can see here I'm in a different location. I'm in the area that I guess you could call my quarters. That's where I stay for most of the day. It's where I lay down, and I must say it's very comfortable. First, I'd like to address the McCain campaign and congratulate you for the ads that are both scary and effective. And I urge you to keep it up until the election, no matter how much the Obama campaign proves you're wrong, says that you're wrong about his taxes. Forget it. Nobody listens to him anyway. Nobody listens to it. Just keep going with saying the same thing, and you're going to win. And speaking of old people, I'd like to share some icebreakers that I've heard recently from some old people. If you find yourself saying these, consider yourself old. First is asking the name of the celebrity on TV at a given moment. Who cares? Really? Who cares? I mean, you're not. Are you watching TV? I mean, are you watching what's going on? The second icebreaker is reiterating a question that was just answered. For instance, someone asked me how my arm is doing. I say it's coming along. And the person said, "So your arm's coming along, huh?" I've been watching MTV lately, and the reason, like I said, I think a week back, was that I was just trying to figure out how the kids today think. And by kids, I mean people that are not more than a few years younger than me. It seems that they get laid more than people my direct age group. And it seems the reason that is because the standard of personality the bar has been dropped. It's very low of what qualifies as personality. So it's almost as if it's better to be annoying than to be intelligent. You can get by just being stupid and annoying. Like, look at Dane Cook. He isn't even funny. And you find that these kids wind up in these lousy situations anyway. And I, if anything, feel sorry for them. They seem like they're having a good life, but there are going to be some really hard lessons coming in their future. It's almost as if MTV is against the passage into adulthood. If anything, they advocate staying the way you were in high school. I don't know people who act like they do on MTV. And they don't even, the point isn't even that they're trying to show how people really are on MTV. You have these relationships where people are constantly cheating on each other. You have friends who are stabbing each other in the back. Everybody's selfish. Well, they're having fun, I guess. I don't know. I tend to favor interesting people. I've also been watching MTV Cribs for the first time, pretty much. And I gotta say, I don't know most of the people on there. They have these amazing pads, these expensive cars. I'm just kind of like, who the hell are you? These people with these amazing pads and these expensive cars. Who are they? Like, these people, I don't recognize them. They aren't celebrities to me. I don't know who they are. And meanwhile, one was really interesting. Someone who I have heard about, that flying tomato guy, that snowboarder. He was pretty cool. His house was kind of like what I would do, and that is, for instance, his TV in his bedroom is bigger than the TV in his living room. And he didn't even take the master bedroom. He left that for his parents for when they visit. Pretty cool. And it shows me that he's humble and he's mature enough to know that he isn't ready to have the big adult life. I mean, like, he's an adult, no question, but he isn't ready to settle down and have a family. He still wants to be young, and he knows that he wants to be young, and I have complete respect for that. when you're that age, you really haven't grown into the kind of money that he has, and I'm sure that he saves it up, which is exactly what I would do, not throw it all on status symbols. But I mean, as far as this MTV thing, I really should have known. It actually reminds me of my high school days, and it reminds me how lucky I was to be around such mature people. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are certainly those who would grow up to be the elite pimples on the asses of society, but on the other hand, I wasn't popular at all, but I still had friends who were popular, even. People who were popular were cool with me. I had friends who were popular. I mean, I was kind of a loner, actually. I mean, I was in band, and, you know, the musicians tend to be the most interesting people. You think the jocks are the ones who have the most fun. They have the most outrageous parties, I guess, and they have, like, these shallow relationships, but it's the musicians who really enjoy each other's company, I find. Now that I think of it, I was actually kind of a tool back then. I took my intelligence way too seriously, to the point that I actually said some pretty stupid things. In fact, my high school quote, you know, the senior quote they put in the yearbook, well, mine was, "Life is a tragedy to those who feel and a comedy to those who think." The thing is, I'm not sure, and this is from some ancient Greek philosopher, but I'm pretty sure I screwed it up, because I'm not sure whether it's tragedy for those who feel or tragedy for those who think or comedy, whatever. That should give you an idea of the story of the way I would take myself way too seriously. And I was also kind of a prude as well. There was at least one time in particular I remember specifically that I could have gotten laid, like my junior year. And I didn't, because at the time I was waiting until marriage, and just to show you how also naive I was. But I wasn't ready. I didn't feel that I was ready, actually. And sometimes I wish I did, because I would have been cool, but also I'm glad that I didn't, because I might have caught a disease. It's quite likely, not to say anything about this particular chick, but yeah, it was a rather promiscuous school. But to give you an idea of where I fit in, there was a class that I took my senior year that dealt with complex math logic, like different kinds of theories and stuff. It was really cool, I thought. And there are some popular people in there. They were considered popular. And instead of, you know, me being the role of the geek of everybody cheating off of, and as it was the case in the first high school I went to that I transferred from, that I was resented by the jocks for you know, being a know-it-all. I was actually admired for being able to explain it in other terms than the teacher did. And not only did I help them, I think I made them interested in the thing as well, and it was a pretty cool experience. So like I said, the people who went to my school were pretty mature, and I feel pretty lucky about that. Though I didn't go to the 5-year reunion, and I didn't go to the 10-year reunion. The reason that is, I really can't tell you, because I know reunions generally are pretty fun. And even if you haven't been around people who you haven't really hung out with, seeing them again is pretty cool, because they remind you of a time when that is long gone. And I think the reason I don't like these kind of formal events is that I grew up in one of those houses where I get yelled at for not appearing happy enough on Christmas. Even though I was happy, I didn't seem happy enough, which is as silly as it sounds. So I've always been against, like, enforced happiness, like real formal kind of general, just formal things in general like that, where you're supposed to, where you may not enjoy, but you're supposed to act happy, to be polite. And that's the only thing I can think of. But usually, like I said, even if you haven't hung out with a lot of the people, it's good to see people you haven't seen in years, and they remind you of another time that you lived that you miss. And like I said, I kind of miss it. I know it's very self-centered. I'm a horrible person. I can't help being a horrible person. It just seems too artificial for me to care to do it. So that's it for today, and see ya.